Okay. So right now, what I want to talk about is the car wreck that I got into. And right now, I'm really pissed because this guy just sent a fucking letter. A fucking letter came to this fucking house from some lawyer dealing with this guy. So I'm mad right now because I'm like, one, why do you have my fucking address? You could have used that fucking address and made a fucking payment. That's what you could have did. So this guy now, the other day when I had showed y'all, it's the same thumbnail, but this is part two. So I'm gonna put part two on this one. The other day I showed you from my mobile phone that I went to the police station, and let me tell you something. So that wreck was on the third, right? Now, when I went to the police station, unless I have a second footage, there's footage of me talking to the police officer. I went to the police station twice because I wanted to make a police report, but I did not actually make a police report. I just talked to the police officer there and explained to him the problem. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted to try not to get this man involved with the car insurance company. And first of all, I believe this man didn't even have car insurance, and I'll tell you why he did not have car insurance. Okay, so there's a letter that just popped up to this house saying blah blah blah. He's trying to say that he abstained some injury, and if I caused injury over $1,000 worth of damages and I don't respond, then they're gonna call the DMV and possibly suspend my shit. Well, they owe me money from the last fucking suspension when I fucking had car insurance, motherfucker. And they tried to act like they didn't see my car insurance there, which I paid for it, and they didn't. I talked to my insurance people, and they couldn't find it because the lady was a black lady, and she was supposed to keep the records for 2 years, and she said she couldn't find the records. But guess what? I found the records because it was in an envelope that I hadn't opened before, and I just what was that? They just flew across the room. Must be God saying something. So now I did not want to file a police report because I felt bad for the guy because he was nice acting. I didn't feel bad for him because he fucking hit me. Now, if you look at that footage on the thumbnail, when I said, now I realize that when I get nervous, my words get fluttered and I don't say everything exactly right. Then I have to come back and clarify things. And people that like to manipulate people and take advantage of people like to use that to their advantage, but it's only going to prove that they like to manipulate and take advantage of people. So now I had mentioned the rear end something, but he didn't hit the rear end. He hit the front driver side fender, okay, which was almost gonna hit me. I'm in the fucking car seat on the driver's side. So I said that I poked my nose in. Now I was coming from a big parking lot and I went all the way one, two, like three lanes. And there was a gap here for me to fit in my car. You know how people do when they're trying to get over in lanes. Perfectly legal and normal. So the gap was here. So I come in and I get right here in front of I get right in between the two. My nose, you see where that thing is bent back? That's how far the nose was in. He couldn't hit that and cause that bend if my nose wasn't that far in. My nose was this far in. The whole fender, the whole front end fender, from the headlight to the fender, it was in. That's a lot of fucking way inward for a person to hit your fucking car, right? So now the other part that I would like to say is when I went to the police station, I had to find the footage. I don't know if the camera, because I never cut the camera off when I went on live. That whole time that I went on live, I said, so if the camera cuts off, then you know why. However, I never cut the camera off. I kept the camera on, but I noticed that there were spots missing of the conversation that I had. So I'm wondering how the fuck that happened. I never turned the phone off. I just kept the phone on while I continued to talk. But when I looked back over at that footage, I noticed that there was a gap. I didn't get on live twice. Not that I remember. But I'm gonna go back and see if I did get on live twice. Then there's footage of that police talking to me and saying that that man didn't have no car insurance. Because I went twice. I went to the police station twice because I was gonna just try to see if I can find him and find his address and then go try to talk to him, but I couldn't. So I was going to see if the police could give it to me without me filing a actual wreck police report. And he was just telling me, "Oh yeah, well, if you want to, you can. It looks like he doesn't have any insurance." Okay. So I immediately called this law firm that sent this letter today because this happened on the 3rd now. I had waited till like the 7th for him to pay. And so I go I'm just so like pissed off because I tried to like work this shit out, and it's like these people undermine me. And the reason why I think this even happened is because all these people that are listening, all these gang stalkers listening through the walls and the devices and stuff like that. I don't think this man would have did any fucking thing because I asked him, "How do I know that you are who you say you are?" He said, the white man said, "Oh, I assure you he is." The man didn't have no ID. I said, "Let me see your ID." Because you're saying you're going to pay me. He paid me $100 that day. He already had $100 ready. And I was like suspicious because I was like, okay, did you have $100? Now, before all y'all try to act like I'm some type of skank hood rat hoe, I couldn't see the $100. His truck sits like way up here, and my car is down here. So I could not see anything. But when I stood up and got in the car, because he acted like he was just going to keep going, like he didn't care about the wreck, I saw inside his car and he had money sitting right there. And I was like, that's weird. Why does he have a bunch of 20s just sitting right there? So either he's somebody who works, he's one of the Hispanic people who just work here and there and then he gets his money daily, or he's planning for something to happen. And if he causes an accident, he's going to give some of the person the money and try to shoo him off. So now at this time, I'm on a DoorDash delivery. So I want to go get to my damn delivery. I have no reason to want to get into a fucking wreck. I showed the man I'm on a delivery and you just hit me. So, because you get violations for that shit too if you're late and you don't call and explain and all this shit. So, this man clearly hit me, like I said. Only a moron and someone who doesn't deserve their position would say that I hit him. And then this is the thing. The man thought he was slick because the car got stuck. When he hit me like this, when he hit me like this, my car, when he hit me like this, the car got stuck. So I literally couldn't get out the car. I couldn't get out the car. And so he got back in his car and he drove it up some more. And then he wanted to take pictures of it to make it look like I hit him. No, he rammed through the car and drove it up some more. So the way that it's sitting is positioned in an awkward way, but you can tell based on how the car was hit that I could not have hit him. Any forensic person could see that. So now when I asked him, the white guy tried to say, he calls this white guy immediately, whoever this white guy is, and has him talk and blah, blah, blah. And the white guy just tries to get me out of it. He says, "No, it's absolutely your fault. You can't be, your car's over the white line." I'm like, yeah, because my whole fender was over the white line because I was in. We are at a red stoplight. There's cars lined up, and I went in. I was this far in, and he was right here. He hit me. And so I told him, he was trying to say it was absolutely my fault until I told him, where you see the footage, that's not where his truck was. His truck was behind me when he hit me. And he hit me and then he ran through. He continued to move on. And that's why his truck now looks like it's in front of me. Because he hit me and then continued to drive. He dragged the car. And that's why that bend is so bent like that. He flipped it back that way. Pure fucking forensic evidence. There's no fucking way you can deny it. And so then he tells me, we go off to another parking lot. I'm thinking the man's going to run off. So I'm like, trying to chase behind him. I said, "Do you want to park over here so we can talk about it?" He's like, "Yeah," but he ended up parking somewhere else. I'm like, I'm ready to chase him down because my car can still move. I don't trust this dude. Why is you trying to escape? Then he had the license plate in the front of his truck. It wasn't on the type. So that's already like you're not from Texas type of person to me. So, because Texas license plate is supposed to be in the front and the back. Like everybody know that, and that's how Texas cars are. So I'm like, we pull over and he calls the white dude. The white dude at first was telling me like, you should just leave, just leave. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna just leave. He hit me. He was telling me just leave, don't pay, and pay for it on your own. I'm like, why should I pay for it on my own when he clearly hit me? He was trying to tell me it was illegal for me to work my way over and sit there. Now I was sat in that position for like 3 minutes. I gave the man a benefit of doubt for a second because I was like, he's in a high car and he was acting nice. But then I'm like, no, something clicked. And I'm like, it's a fucking high car. That means you can see everything below you. You should be able to watch and see everything. So now I believe now that this could possibly be a fucking scam. And so I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm leaving this like this. And so he basically tells me, okay, well, I said, we can call. I don't want to get the insurance people involved because it's going to make both of our insurances go up, right? And there's no point in doing that. We can, it's not a big fucking issue. It's just the front fender. And I'm not hurt. This man was not fucking hurt. He didn't have a scratch on his fucking car. Not one fucking scratch. Not fucking one. Not a dent, not a scratch. I will show pictures. When I get it together, I'm probably going to have to put it together today. There's no fucking scratch on his car on the side that now in that one picture he's standing in front of it, but that's where it was. That's where he hit me on that part where he's standing in front of that on the thumbnail. There's not a scratch on his fucking car, not a dent on his car. So so he's perfectly fine. But then he goes and so the guy tells me, he's like, "Well, how much do you want?" I said, "We can call the police now. If you don't want to, work it out, then we can just call the police and I'll get everything going. I have my insurance, I have my ID. I'm not illegal." So he's like, "Okay, well, how much do you want?" I said, "Well, I don't know." So I go on Google and I start looking up the part. And I tell him, okay, well, the part's probably going to cost about 100 something. And then the labor is probably going to cost like, I just told him 400 because that's going to be a little bit over, but it's going to be enough for me to feel secure and that I'm not getting dipped or ditched. And also, I don't really know. I haven't talked to my mechanic. It's the weekend and it's past 5 o'clock. I don't know. But I just know it can't be coming out of my pocket. And so I was able to get a decent price for the part. It was still the amount that he gave me. It was $100. I have the part right now. I could show you right now. And the labor is not fucking paid for. I was gonna try to do it my fucking self, which if that nigga think he getting something, he can kiss somebody dirty fucking toe, not mine. And on top of that, this dude, he told me, the white guy said, okay, well, make sure that the price isn't going to go up. 400. I said, no more than 400. I said, no more than 400. It won't go up more than 400. And he said, okay, because I don't want you coming back and saying like, it's going to be more and it's going to be this and it's going to be that. And I was like, okay. So he said, put it in a text message to Mariano and let him and text it to him. And I said, okay. So I said, today Mariano has agreed to pay $100, which he gave me all in 20s. So he gave me five 20s, and then he's agreed to pay the 300 on Thursday. The rest on Thursday. Then he told me to meet him at the Hispanic place in the parking lot that we were at. And so I told the white guy, okay, I texted to him and he said, okay, good. And I told him I was recording anyway. So he says by Thursday. And I said, okay, are you sure? And because now I don't know this person. So then I thought to ask, he's like, we'll try to get it to you by Thursday. Because I'm like, my friend's out of town right now. And I don't know if I'm going to even be able to drive this car, if it's going to drag or anything. But hopefully I was able to drive it. But yeah, so I'm like, because it's like right by the wheel, and that splash shield is kind of dragging on the wheel a little bit. Sometimes when you drive and it hits a bump or something. And so and you don't want to, if it's that bad, it can cause friction and maybe spark something. So that's why I'm like, but it seemed like it was okay. So he was like, we'll try to get it to you by Thursday. And so he hangs up the phone. No, he tells me he's going to give me his phone number. But then the white guy says, oh, no, 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 I don't want to do that. But why? Why wouldn't you want to give me my phone number? Give me your phone number when you're the one helping this guy make the deal. Because he's saying he can't speak English, but he can speak some English. Yes, he can. And so I need your number. And this guy was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. And so then I was like, okay, well, I didn't think nothing of it because I'm that type of person that doesn't want to give my number out. But why am I being nice to this person? That's the real question I'm asking myself now. No, you need to give me the number because you're the one making the deal. You're the one arranging everything. So I'm like, I'm just really flustered and upset right now. So he basically tells me Thursday he'll try to get the money. And so he gets off the phone. I'm like, everything, I sent the messages and everything. So Thursday he's supposed to try. The white guy gets off the phone and then the Hispanic guy tries to talk to me. And the Hispanic guy is now trying to talk to me on the translator, Google Translation. And so I'm like, okay. And now that the deal is done, now the guy's like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have da da da? And I'm just like, I'm flattered, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not available. But I'm like, this guy's like flirting with me and stuff, whatever. I don't know what that means, but anyway. So he then tells me, I said, so I confirmed. I said, okay, Thursday at 5 o'clock, because the white guy said the same time as today, because that's the day that he gets off. The white guy sounds like a guy that he works for or something. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. The Hispanic dude, once the white guy gets off the phone, he starts Googling in English and Spanish translation shit. And I said, okay, Thursday at 5 o'clock. And then he says, I get paid on Saturday. And so I'm like, okay, so maybe he's saying because he for sure gets paid on Saturday if Thursday doesn't work out. So I wait till Thursday and he gives me the 100 that day. Then, oh, by the way, the white guy kept saying he's not going to give you any money. He's not going to give you any money. And so I said, basically, I said, why? Because he had the money. I seen the money now. And I'm like, so basically, you're trying to say that I'm a scam, I'm a fraud car insurance person, and all this and that and the other. Like, what are you trying to say? He clearly hit me. That dent right there and that bend can only be from him hitting me. It's obvious to me. It's obvious to anybody who's a forensic person and has common sense. You can't bend something back that way unless you hit it from this way. And then his car print is this way on the fender. He hit me straight on while I was already in. Come on now. Just like that. This is where the fender ends. Bam. That's what he did. And then he did it so hard that this part bit in this way. It bit in this way. So what are you saying? So I give him till Saturday. I'm texting him now. I texted him on Thursday and I said, hey, are you gonna be able to do it today or are we waiting still till Saturday? No fucking response. So I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't understand in Spanish. So in English. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the translator, and then I'm gonna text it like that because you could do a copy and paste. So I sent it in Spanish. No fucking response. Not even a hola, and you can't speak English. Just like no fucking response at all. I must have texted this dude like 10 times. And Thursday, I left him alone. I texted him early in the morning, like at 9, so that if he would be at work, he wouldn't forget. He didn't even say like, "Oh, well, I can only give you 100 more, 200 more, anything." They wanted me to pay. They wanted to pay me $100 and then say that's it. The part's $100. Then at first he wanted me to just let it happen and not give me anything. After it's obvious he hit me. So I'm like, nah, you're not gonna do me like that, because then that's setting a bad example. How many other people are you gonna get to try to fucking do that shit to me? So meanwhile, when I'm still on the phone with this white dude, I asked Mariano, I said, hey, how do I know that you're who you are? Because y'all might be a scam and be playing a trick on me. And so I said, do you have any ID? I said, I'm not gonna write down your address or anything. I just want to make sure you are who you say you are. And then the white guy goes, oh, I can assure you he is who he says he is. And then he says, oh, but I said, that's the first thing I asked was, how do I know you are who you say you are? He says, oh, I can assure you he is who he says he is. And I said, well, do you have any ID? I'm not going to write your address down or anything. I just want to see your name. You can cover up the address or whatever. I just want to see your name that it's you. And then the white guy goes, oh, hey, man, I got to go. I got to get off the phone. And I'm like, okay, so now that I'm asking him about his ID, he says, oh, da, da, da. He's talking in Spanish, like he looks a little nervous. And I'm like, okay, this dude don't have no ID. Why doesn't he have any ID? And he's like, yeah, no, I don't have no ID on me. Why can't you show your ID? For you're doing a deal and you already told me your real name. What's the fuck's the problem? So now I get it. You don't want me to be able to trace you, and you don't want me to be able to trace you, or you don't got no ID. So I'm like, okay, because we would be exchanging insurance information. He didn't have no insurance. I said, do you have anything that has your name on it? He said, no. He didn't have, so you don't have a regular ID, you don't have a driver's license, you don't have insurance paper, you don't have nothing that has your fucking name on it. So now I'm getting suspicious, but I'm still trying to trust the dude, even though there's no reason to trust this man besides he's trying to act like he's being nice. So no ID, nothing to verify that he is who he says he is. So when the days pass by and he doesn't answer to my text or my phone calls, I get upset because I shouldn't have to pay for something that you did. And you had a deal and you don't have none of your information on the spot, which is suspicious. So I go to the police station. By the way, when I was recording, I didn't turn off any footage. So any blanks and blurs that there were between me talking to them and getting the car, somebody did that to my device. I did not cut out any scenes. I didn't cut out any scenes, but it looked like scenes were cut out. So trying to understand that. And the scenes were cut out because I said who the guy's name was when I was still on live. And I didn't hear that on the live though. So somebody's going in and they're cleaning up my videos and they're taking stuff out and they're blankets, and they played me because I said, if the camera goes off, you know why. But the camera never went off. I shouldn't have said that because the camera never went off. And that was only if I was going to turn it off myself. I didn't turn it off. I didn't get back in on live. I didn't log in again. I didn't make 2 titles. I didn't do that. I kept it on the whole time. But yet footage and pieces were missing of that video. Specifically the part where I said the man's name and other information. I think that might have been when the police said that he doesn't have insurance. But I went in twice, so I'm trying to see. So I'm like, okay, This man's not gonna pay me. He's not gonna stick to his word. So I went in there trying to fix the thing myself. Cause I just don't have money that I could just keep wasting and shit, you know? I turned up the garage. It feels like these people planning shit on me. It feels like they're doing all this shit on purpose. I'm now feeling like this person purposely wrecked me. This man is now saying that he might have sustained some injuries. You injured yourself, idiot. I'm not trying to be rude, but you injured yourself because you hit me. And let me tell you why I specifically say you hit me. My car was still, right? This was him. As soon as the light turned green, I waited so I can get in and the cars needed to go ahead. He didn't wait 1 second. He just literally hit my shit. So you hit me. My car was still sitting, waiting for the cars ahead to go. Okay, well, I'm on live right now, and so like I said, you're what? I'm on live recording. I don't think it's funny. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. So anyway, this man hit me. That's what he did. And then there, and then there, and then they plotted all this. They plotted all of it to happen to me. They purposely did it. Talking about, well, you're the one talking. I just told you I'm on here, so go. Anyway, so I'm just gonna continue talking. He purposely got in front of the camera. So I basically told this guy what it was, and I believe that people told this person from all the devices and all the listening in, they told these people that I was gonna do a police report, even though I hadn't done one yet, but I do have footage of me going into the police report. And now this person saying they did a police report. And then the guy even said there was no car insurance exchanged in the scene. He didn't that I didn't present car insurance. He didn't fucking have any. He didn't have ID or car insurance. I specifically asked him. And then when I went to the police station, the police told me he didn't have any insurance. And so I just called the law firm today and they were like, oh, well, I don't know. Somehow she knew this, but she was the receptionist. She said, oh, well, I don't know why he told you that because he has his information. Oh, well, he didn't have it for those days, those 3 or 4 or 5 days, because I waited a couple days before I went to the police station and they said I can file a report because he don't have no insurance. So now I'm thinking to myself, are these people a bunch of scammers and they're letting illegal immigrants come in and hit people's car and then they're making up fake insurance papers and policies to pretend that they already had their shit? They're documenting stuff backwards and acting like they already had it, because that's what I'm starting to believe. And he didn't have no ID. Well, why didn't he show me if he gave me his name? And then they could have just said, well, so just like with the court, it doesn't matter. He already agreed to pay $100. He paid the $100. The white guy told him, just go ahead and pay her the $100. And they were going to do the rest later. So now all of a sudden, I said I was going to go to small claims court. So therefore, it wouldn't be on no insurance shit because he don't got no insurance. But my point of going to small claim court was because I think he's a dangerous man now. You don't have any ID and you don't have any car insurance. You're out and then you act like you wanted to keep going and drive. You could be a danger to society. And also I don't want to set an example that people could just go around fucking hitting my car and putting me in fucked up situations and telling me to fucking pay for it because they don't want to assume liability for what they did. So that's why I was going to just go to small court and get them to finish him paying the rest of his deal off. That way he can do what he's supposed to do, but it not necessarily be on on a traffic report and dealing with the car insurance people. Because how I know that, because I talked to the police for a while and he told me, yeah, you can do that. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to get the car insurance people involved. It would just be a small court claim. And so I said, well, I'll just do it that type of way so he can finish making his payment. Now he's coming out like he's pretending, he's changing the whole story. Now he's trying to say he was injured and blah, blah, blah. He's a fucking lie. How your car wasn't injured, but you were injured. And why would it matter if you're the one who hit me? The car I was in hadn't moved yet. You rammed into it. So you hit yourself and you caused your own injuries. I'm sorry, but you did it. You did it to yourself. And now you're causing problems here because people every time I go through something, somebody says all these bad things about me, but my track record is good. I've been driving that car for 10 some years and hadn't gotten in a wreck with it. So who the fuck is really to blame here? Okay. The guy hit me. I was trying to help the guy out and help. And I really don't care though. I could do a police report. I should have did a police report so I could get his damn address. I was trying to stay out of it, but I was gonna get his address probably anyway. Now he's got my address after he was the fucking at fault person, and I'm highly offended by it and greatly pissed off. And I don't care about talking to Triple. I'll talk to AAA. Why can't I just do it with small claims?
Because the lawyer's already involved.
They just said to call. They didn't say that they were. Oh yeah, I'm gonna draw a whole fucking diagram. Don't worry. Oh, I will, because the proof is. I don't need to. The proof is on the car. I'm walking living proof. That car is living proof. I don't got to do much. So I don't care. The car is proof itself. And see, they knew I was in there working on trying to get it, but I'm leaving the fender on there just how it is. So they can see. And like I said, the damage speaks for itself. It clearly shows who was at fault. So if you want to be that stupid and do that, then you can go ahead and do that. Like I said, I was trying to be nice and keep the insurance people out of it so his insurance wouldn't go up and my insurance wouldn't go up. It's a very common thing, especially in the hood. That's what you do to keep. Now, the white people, they don't give a fuck. They want to go ahead and make their insurance go up and blah, blah, blah. To me, that's stupid when you can just pay $400 and be done with it versus paying way more. Oh, so it's not affecting you. And it makes me feel like you were targeting me on purpose. And also over here in fucking Houston, bitch ass Texas, I've been living here all my motherfucking life. And there was a time where I absolutely loved Houston, Texas, and I never wanted to leave Houston, Texas. I fucking am starting to hate Houston, fucking Texas, because all these motherfuckers are over here. And let me tell you something. I sat at a light for about 3 minutes the other day. And you tell me why I decided I was going to count each car that had a fucking wreck. Each car that had a fucking dent. It was 8 cars that had a dent before the light turned. I seen 8 cars, I counted them. So to me, that shows the way these motherfuckers are driving. Like I said, I had been driving that car for almost 10 plus years and hadn't gotten a wreck in it. Not one fucking wreck. And these people are just reckless. I go through the parking lot and no offense, but them Hispanic people be driving fucking crazy. They act like they don't give a fuck and they're on a suicidal mission. I was trying to drive slow through a parking lot and the man was acting like he was pissed off that I was being cautious. And he hurried up like he was gonna ram the glass, whatever, the mirror, the side mirror off because he didn't want to go slow in the parking lot. Like he had to prove something to me when I was just trying to practice safety. So this attitude and this selfish bitch mentality on the road is getting on my nerves, and this competitive mentality on the road, like I gotta beat you. It's like you're not beating anybody or anything in life, so you try to beat people on the road and beat them up and you don't give a fuck. That's how these people act. And it's like they get their money. They don't give a fuck about paying for stuff. It doesn't bother them that they don't give a fuck. And some of them, a lot of Hispanic people got mechanics and are mechanics. It's like they don't care if they wreck that shit. Your black ass or your white ass gonna be the one fucked up. Cause y'all don't really do that. We fix these cars and this shit all the time. We can fucking hit you all day and have a field day. That's how they acting when they driving out here. These people that come from other places that speak Spanish and shit. That's how I feel. That's how I feel like they acting. They drive reckless, and I bet you if they did a motherfucking statistics, demographics report on who is getting the most motherfucking wrecks, Hispanic people and black people would be up there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hispanic people wouldn't be first. I'm sorry, but I don't trust the shit. Something's not right. Something's not right. The way they driving out here, they've been driving like fucking monsters. Like they don't care. Like they want to race on the road. Fucking people shit up. Acting like it don't mean nothing. And then people want to try to act like I'm at fault. I'm tired of people blaming me for other dim wits.
When I get a letter from a lawyer.
I don't care about that lawyer.
Exactly. You don't care about anything.
I don't care about.
You're just a user and someone who just wants to destroy things.
Yeah.
You benefit from that.
Yeah, it took 12 years for me to destroy a car I never destroyed. Get the fuck out of here. Bullshit. And also, I fucking was on a delivery. Why would I want? What does it have to do? Is I want to get to my delivery safely and go and make it.
I'm sure you didn't do something stupid on purpose, but something happened to you. Now I'm involved, and I don't want to be involved.
Well,
I was in Europe. Why should I be fucking around?
I'm done talking about it. He didn't have his shit, and now they're saying, "Oh, he had his stuff." Yeah, you must have made.
It's obviously some kind of scam, but you fell for it.
I didn't fucking fall. I went to the police station. I went though.
So you don't listen to anybody.
I tried to be a nice fucking person. And what did it do? It fucked me up the ass with a broomstick. I'm fucking sick of it.
You're never a nice person with me. Some loser runs into my
I'm
car,
fucking
now
done.
you're a nice person.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being a nice person.